Hi everyone. I just thought I would share a idea with you. This is not a project I'm doing for the school or anything. It's just my own personal idea. I wanted to give my mom some moccasins because she loves moccasins. But I wanted to personalize them myself, and I haven't gotten yet to making my moccasins from scratch yet. That is one of my next projects. But I did come across some moccasins on clearance after Christmas that were a really good deal, so I bought a few pairs because I thought, you know what, I am going to decorate these, both for myself and for my mom. So what I've done so far is I have just a plain moccasin that I got from the store, and I am going to, for fun, because I would like to learn how to do some beading, fancy this up a bit. So what I thought I would do is, well, first of all, I thought I could undo all the stitching here and take this piece off so that I can do the beading directly on here. But then I thought, well, you know what? How about, since I'm still a beginner, I do it this way. And what I did was I cut out a piece of felt, which is going to fit right on top like that, and I will sew it on when I'm done. And I will do my beadwork on this, which you can see I'm still doing. And then I also am going to add some fur trim around it to make it even more fancy. So to begin, as I said, I had some felt, which I cut out, and a bunch of, I think these are about size 11 beads, but I'm not sure. And I've got my beading needle and my thread, and I've started doing some beading on here. And this book has been very helpful for me. It's a beginner's guide to Metis Floral Work. Just let me move all this stuff here. See, it's a nice book. And other places that I would recommend going to is Metis Alive, has a beginner beading tutorial on YouTube. And there's a lot of people that have videos on doing the beaded Metis flower. So you can look up videos on that, because I'm not really going to talk about doing beading. Although, if you want to look in my videos on the pink shirt demo and fast forward to about 2 minutes and 50 seconds, starting about there, I give a little bit of instructions on how to load your beads and tack them down, and then do a double spine to get yourself in the ready position again to add more beads. So if that's helpful to anybody. But otherwise, there is lots of videos out there, and I just kind of wanted to share the idea of fancying up some moccasins. So I can quickly show you inside the book. My idea was to do something like this on the moccasin. And this is as far as I've got. And I still have to do some more on this side. This is where I've got so far. And basically, you know, this book is really good at explaining. You can draw out your pattern, which was really hard to do on black. So I ended up using a white paint pen and then trying to kind of erase it after. But you start with your center bead. You tack that bead down. And then you are going to make a circle of beads around the center bead. And then you will make another circle around that circle till you complete it. And in this case, she's done another color surrounding the yellow. And here's just some more photos. Here she's loading on the string of beads to start doing the outside, and your thumb comes very handy when doing this. Your thumb actually fits perfect for making the edges round. And you keep doing that until you filled in the outside of your flower, and then you start filling in the centers of the flower. But as I said, there is a lot of YouTube videos on this if you want to watch it being done live. But this is sort of what the book I've been using, finding very useful. And I've got my pattern here. I can just quickly show you one pass on this one that I'm currently working on. Excuse the wood that I have under here. My next project is doing a video on wood burning tools, and I've got a piece of wood down here that I've been practicing things on. So here I have loaded a few beads, and you just fit the, like you can, when you get smaller you can do like a whole row, but when you have a bigger section you can put half the beads on and then tack down, and then you can tack down each bead, and then you can do your double spine where you go through the beads to bring it back into the ready position, and then you can load the other half. But this one was small enough that I loaded enough beads to do it all at once. So there, got them slightly in position, then I'm just going to put my needle down to the bottom. And like I said, your thumb will come in very handy for holding the beads in place. And then you'll just work backwards, come up on one side of the beads, and go down on the other side. And you can keep doing that just to go all the way around to tack these down, and then you will continue on doing that. But I'm positive there's lots of videos out there for you to watch how to do that. But that's just the basic idea. You keep filling in, and then I'm going to be adding this again on this one. And then after that, after I sew this on to moccasin, I've cut out some pieces of fake fur like this. Here's a nice piece, and I am going to sew it on from the inside here like this, and then this will fold down like that, and I'll do that all the way around here until I have it sewed on. And then I've got my little piece for up the tongue here, which I will also sew on, and then we will end up with a moccasin that looks completely different. And don't forget, I'll be adding this on too as well, and it'll just be adding a little bit of homemade love to my mom's slippers. Okay, I finished all the beading I have time to do because my mom's birthday is tomorrow. I would have liked to have maybe done some more, but this is all it's going to be. So what I'm going to do is I actually made 2 holes here to put the strings through, and I'm thinking about maybe putting some fabric glue there, but then also stitching this down. But I've got these here, and I've got my little piece of fur for the tongue, and I actually, punched a couple more holes in this so that I can string this through this as well. I can grab it. There we go. And I'll see if I've got the other hole here. I already made it. I already made the hole. There we go. Perfect. Just gotta find it. Okay. There's the strings for that. And now, unfortunately, I noticed that most of this beadwork down here is going to be kind of covered by the fur, which is a shame. But I was doing it more for practice anyways. And so what I might do is trim some of this fur back a little bit so that you can see more of the beading. But that's that part. Now I'm just going to stitch it down. Okay, here we are. I've now sewed the fur to the tongue and tied off this. And I ended up trimming some of the fur off here so that you could see the beadwork. Now I'm going to sew this part down. Okay, so here is the final product. I decided to add some beads along the trim here to give it a more finished look, because for some reason when I was thinking about this in my head, I was thinking I'd be putting fur all the way around here, which would hide the seam, but then I wanted to do this. So this is what it looked like to begin with, and now I've added some beadwork and some fur around, and that's the final result. Now I have to work on the other one, and I still have to do some tacking down of these beads, but pretty much this is what it's going to look like. So it's actually quite fun. Can't wait for my mom to see them. And here we are. I finally got them both done. I think if I did this again, instead of using the black felt, which is just what I happened to have at the time, I would find something that matches the color of the slippers, or even get another piece of leather that I can work on with the beading, so that I don't have to do this extra row of beading to hide the difference in the transitions. If I found something that matched a little bit better, then maybe I wouldn't have to do that extra beads, which were bigger beads.